Good morning. We're going to do stilt homes with elevators, and we're going to start off by looking at the map. We're going to get from way up above Spring Hill down to way down south below Sarasota and Bradenton. And we're going to start by taking a look. Let's get rid of this picture. It's unnecessary. Let's go. Boom. Okay, great. So we're going to go into criteria. We're going to do $2 million homes with an elevator on water with Gulf access. And let's start off by looking at the actives. Let's do it backwards for a change. The most expensive home at $2 million on the $2 million list in Madeira Beach. This is $800 a square foot. It's been on the market for 279 days. In Inglewood, we have one at $851 a square foot. These are all homes that have elevators. Wow, look at that. This is $500 a square foot. In Inglewood again, 1.75, $623 a square foot. And obviously, these are all luxury homes. Very nice, $547. But we're talking about homes with elevators on the Gulf access canals or frontage or bay frontage. Here we go in Reddington Beach, 1951 home. Now, the idea behind buying stilt homes is so that you don't have any living area downstairs in which you would have to pay the super high flood insurance for. Generally speaking, the 1993 houses are homes that are after August of 1993, where you can have living area downstairs before 1993, August, September. So if it's built afterwards, in theory, there's no living area downstairs, and you'll be able to get the cheaper flood insurance for a stilt home. This one's only 2 bedrooms for 1.2, and it's $420 a square foot. Here we have $320 a square foot, 4 bedrooms. Wow, very nice view. Look at that. $1,999,000. In Inglewood, looks like a place to buy if you're looking for under $2 million stilt homes. This is 2 bedrooms for $420 a square foot, and it's 3 floors. Built in 2008, so we're fairly sure that you'll get the cheaper flood insurance for a stilt home. Here we have in Tarpon Springs. A lot of these people like the $1,099,000 number. This one is $320 a square foot. And in Hudson on Driftwood Isles, $759,000. Works out to $506 a square foot. Now, this is a 2023 house, and I talked to this agent. This is a fairly nice property. The only challenge I think it has is that this is all the frontage they have on the canal is this piece right here. But it's a very nice home, and possibly well priced. What are we at? $506 a square foot, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 80 days on the market. Tarpon Springs, another $1,099,000. I would make mine $1,098,000 just to stand out. Anyway, we're $320 a square foot, and we already looked at this one. We're going the wrong way. We're going backwards by price to see what the cheapest property is with an elevator, with no living area downstairs, so that you can get the cheaper flood insurance. This is a $414 a square foot. And now we're at a 3 bedroom, 2 bath for $342 a square foot. This is a 1991 house, and it did have flooding, as all these homes had. This is the upstairs. Great location. Very nice. If you have interest in Gulf access waterfront properties with an elevator, you can see that. And this did have some stucco damage, and this has all been repaired. These pictures are going to be updated, but before they are, we're at $342 a square foot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into the pending, because you can't follow the market without watching the pendings and the solds, and there are no pendings in this criteria. In the solds, there have been 3 properties that have sold in the last 6 months that have an elevator and are below $2 million. This one was listed at $600,000. It sold for $530,000. It was sold at $330 a square foot. in Cortez, Florida. 1.5 sold for 1.5 in 137 days. This one's $550 a month in homeowners association fees. $941 a square foot. And then finally, we have 199 sold for 192, worked out to $558 a square foot. So the idea of buying a home with a elevator is great if you're wanting to be on the water and you don't want to carry your stuff up the stairs. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into 2-story plus and look at the same criteria. And we're going to see that there's now 98 properties. So we can't go through those. So let's go down to $1 million and less homes, 43 homes. Let's go down to 800,000 and less, because we don't need a big criteria here. And let's go to actives. And there's 36 active properties in the marketplace that are at least 2 stories. Actually, let's cut this down. Let's only do the 3-bedroom houses. I just don't want to have this huge population try to go through it. Now we're at 26. Now we're at 9 properties below $800,000 that are on the water that will give you Gulf access. Here's one in Ruskin. Now this says it's a second floor. As you can see, this is a 1953 house. So this defeats the purpose of buying a stilt home. And that is not a stilt home. That's a 2-story home. All right, this is in Hernando Beach. And this is a great property built in 1991. So it's likely that it's going to have living area downstairs, which defeats the purpose of buying a stilt home because you don't want to have that high-priced insurance. Driftwood, we talked about already, $342 a square foot, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 3-car garage. Hernando Beach, we have 3-2 built in 1990. So this is going to likely have living area downstairs. Here's another 1990. It has living area downstairs. And here's a 2002. Now I want to show you something about Hernando Beach. Hernando Beach has 2 sections, the northern section and the southern section. This is in the southern section. The challenge here is that these homes in this area, you have to go over a boat lift right here to get your boat out of the southern canals. And this boat lift, I hear, goes down now and then. Once you go over the boat lift, you have to go under this bridge. So if you're buying, you can see all these boats out here are likely owned by people in this neighborhood that even though they're Gulf access, they park their boat out here so they can get out into the Gulf without having to go over the boat lift. So if you're shopping in Hernando Beach, you got to be very careful if you have a boat that won't go over the lift. Now this one's in Driftwood Isles. We talked about it. Very nice home. Very small amount of frontage. Another Hernando Beach. Now this is a way different product. This house is out there on the Gulf, and that's fairly special. It's $429 a square foot. In Tarpon Springs, let's see where this is. So this didn't come up. This is a brand new 2026 house. And this is on, well, this one you have to, I don't know how you get out. I guess that's a bridge. So you have to go under that bridge. But Tarpon is a very nice lifestyle if you can afford and have a low boat without a lift. I mean, without a sky bridge or no sailboats. Right, there are no pendings in this criteria in the last 6 months. And on the solds, we have 10 solds. That's interesting. So let's do 235. Now this one's on the ground. I don't know how they call this a 2-story. This one was built in 1979 and it only sold for $240,000. So you can self-insure on something like that. $295,000 sold for $250,000. Investor special, direct Gulf access, no short-term rental restrictions. Hernando Beach, 1964 house. Does it have anything downstairs? It has living area downstairs, so that means it's just going to be like a house on the ground for insurance purposes. The whole idea behind this is to buy a stilt home so that you don't have the high-priced insurance. And all these properties are on the ground. Here's a 1997. It is likely does not have, it certainly has no permitted living area downstairs. And the next thing we have to look, it's Hernando Beach South, so you have to go through the boat lift. Here's Hernando Beach 2018. We take a look at it because Hernando Beach is a great value. And this does not have an issue with going over the boat lift. Anything below here, if you're watching my cursor, and this one sold for $647,000. This one sold for $650,000. And this one sold for Fifth Isle, great house, 2006 house, $721,000 in 5 days. Anyway, I'm Randy Jenkins. Let me go ahead and give you some of my contact information here. I appreciate the opportunity if you're watching my videos. Let's go with my contact information. Here we go. Randal Jenkins, Randy Jenkins, Florida Real Estate Partners, American Mortgage Services. If you need money, let me teach you about mortgages. I've got 2 secrets in mortgages that no, and I say no mortgage brokers, I say it, so very few mortgage brokers will tell you the 2 secrets regarding mortgages that I learned after being at Rocket Mortgage for years. I joined American Mortgage Services, 1000 South Ashley. As soon as you get off the I-4 onto Ashley Street in Tampa, the first big building on the right, we're in the penthouse. American Mortgage Services, got a big insurance company. If you have an interest in shopping for insurance, reach out to us. Randy Jenkins here. Appreciate the opportunity. Have a great day. Bye now.